Yo, 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 Big Catch back up in here. There's a clip in this footage right here that no one is talking about. I'm about to say nobody, but nobody is talking about. And I just wanted to go over it with y'all. It expresses unity. And when I seen it, I said, wow. Let me share this with the Get It Gang right quick. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. It's called her channel is The Joy Report. She put this collage together. I haven't had a chance to look at her channel, so I don't know, you know what I'm saying, what it's about for real. But this video, Black Americans surprised after Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl that broke the internet. Before we get started, y'all, I would like to give a special shout out to Albert Castello. Shout out to Albert Castello and Janine Guerrero. Thank you, Janine Guerrero and Albert Castello, for y'all donations. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for those donations. And yeah, I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working for y'all so we could bring out, you know, this unity. We could bring out this unity. Y'all know I like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
And there was a bit of entertainment history made. Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was the most watched performance in the history of the game, with 133.5 million people tuning in. Wow. That is a larger audience than the Super Bowl game itself.
Y'all stay tuned. Y'all not gonna want to click off this video. We know this part, but I'm telling you, they're about to cook. Just stay tuned.
So much for those on the right claiming people turn the TV off. No, they saying turn the TV off. And for those keeping track, that's over 100 million more than the 24.6 million viewers that tuned in to watch President Donald Trump's second inauguration.
Now, y'all just seen the video we just dropped. Now I'm looking at these sisters' hairstyle totally different. I'm like, damn, wow. That's XXX right there. Wow.
Tuned in to watch President Donald Trump's second inauguration. Even the YouTube video of the halftime show uploaded yesterday already.
Yo, I just thought of something. When they was performing in the X, everybody say they was performing in the X for XXX. They was performing on a 30-yard dash. XXX is 10, 10, 10. That's 30. It was on the 30-yard dash. Man, hold on, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I don't mean to get off topic, but hold up. This is getting spooky. Hold on. Dang, y'all finally found it. I didn't think I was going to be able to find it, but yeah, y'all, this is it right here. It was on the 30. It performing in the X. X 3 times is XXX. Ain't nobody said nothing about that yet. All I heard was they performed in the X pickable. Look at that, y'all. It's on the 30. XXX. Oh my gosh. This is too calculated right here, bro. This is too calculated. I mean, I put it, see, I was going, I knew they performed on the 30, but I was coming from an angle of like, okay, he 3-0 Drake. I was like, you know, he performed in the X and he 3-0 Drake. But I never put it together that 3 times X is 333. 3-0. 3-0 Drake and XXX. Damn, that's a nice reach. That is a nice reach. Y'all didn't know I like reaches. But I think that was intentional though. To be honest, I think that was intentional. For it to be on the 30 and like on the mark of it like that, like he could have had it over here. It's still some space right there. He could have had it over here. Still some space between there. But is boxed out and is perfectly on the 30. 3x. Roman numerals, the X is 10, y'all. Whew. Oh my gosh. I ain't mean to interrupt y'all video like that, but look. Oh man, this is beautiful. Let's get it.
Already has more views than Trump's coronation. No need to be humble.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most
Somebody said, did y'all catch this part? Watch this.
powerful voices in modern.
Look at that. They gave that right in the middle of the joint. They gave that right in the middle of the joint. Americans coming together to overthrow the. Oh my gosh. They see this is somebody video from another country, so you know they gonna go a little overboard with it.
Music, Kendrick Lamar. Now, if you saw his Super Bowl performance or caught the buzz around it, you know he didn't just put on a show. He made.
Hey, that's a good catch, the Joy Report. That's a good catch. Did y'all catch this part? Nope. I didn't. I did not catch this.
Made a statement. Kendrick has never been the kind of artist to just rap about money, fame, and flashy things.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. I did not catch that, bro. Americans coming to overthrow. Oh my gosh, why you put that? You're gonna get us caught, girl. Putting something like that. Yeah, that was dope. That's dope right there, y'all. That is dope. Now let's see what she cooking with, y'all. Let's get it.
His music carries weight, speaks truth, and challenges the system. So today, we're gonna break down Kendrick's message at the Super Bowl, his impact on American culture, and why
his impact. I love the way they talk, man. His impact.
His work continues to resonate so deeply, especially with Black communities. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing so that YouTube may recommend it to a wider audience. And so without further ado, guys, let's go straight into this video. But first, let's play a few clips of people's reaction, and I'll come back with my commentary.
Can I ask y'all something? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I can't. I can't. There's a lot of videos on here floating around with people saying the first time they ever heard about 40 Acres and a Mule was during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. And when I say people, I'm talking about people who are not within Black culture, people of other demographics, right? Saying
they probably hiding it from their children. They probably hiding it from their children. This is why people walking around like, oh, lift up your bootstraps or work like my forefathers did. They don't even know they don't even know the history. It's a lot of people don't know the history, but it's some that choose to ignore it, and they know what's going on.
I never heard of this. What is
and some people act like they don't know what's going on and want to see what you know. They say, "Oh, what's 40 acres? 40 acres? What is that? I don't know." That's a tactic that the Hennessy man used. Act all stupid like they don't know nothing, just so you could give the information. They'd be like, "Damn, oh, they starting to wake up." You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a measuring. It's measured. They trying to check your temperature. They checking your temperature to see what you know.
40 Acres and a Mule. Oh my God, I never knew. So this whole time, all of these years, when Black people were talking about reparations and paying a debt, and you owe our ancestors and unpaid labor and all of this stuff, we were talking about all of this stuff about reparations. What did y'all think we were talking about? Like, what did y'all think we meant? Did y'all think we were making that up? Or please, somebody,
making that up.
What did y'all think we were talking about?
Kendrick Lamar halftime show was a big display on how America views Black people. Having Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Sam, which is pretty much the same character he played in Django, Steven, as the narrator of the entire Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick comes out performing the intro track to GNA, and Uncle Sam hops on screen saying, "No, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto." And the very next track that Kendrick performs is Humble. Sit down, be humble. But then he switches to DNA. I got loyalty, I got royalty inside my DNA. I'm tired of being humble. I know who I am. I know who my people are.
Yeah.
Then he transitions to Euphoria. And I was like, Euphoria, the diss track, what's the relevance to this? But it's the part of Euphoria that he performed. Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. Have you ever walked?
Uncle Sam, you want to play? Okay, nigga, just play. Because this is where I'm from. You want to play? Okay, this is where I'm from. All right, okay. I'm going to play your game. Let's play. Come on. Let's walk. Let's walk. Let's walk.
Put your enemy down like with a poker face. You're playing the game, but the enemy think you're playing by their rules. Then he goes into Man at the Garden, under a streetlight, white tees, gold grills, and he's talking about everything he feels like he deserved. I deserve it all. And Uncle Sam walks up and say, oh, you got your homeboys with you. You think you deserve all this. You think you're supposed to get more than what we give you. Now we go deduct one life. So when Kendrick and SZA perform Luther and All the Stars, Uncle Sam is like, yeah, this what we want. Something calm. Something very easily digestible. This is what you need to do. Be quiet. Don't cause too much ruckus. Just play the game the way we designed it for you to play. And Kendrick Lamar throughout this whole thing is pretty much saying, I'm not going to confine to your rules. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Especially when somebody likes to sue. Uncle Sam is pretty much telling him, you almost at the finish line. Don't mess this up. And then he performs Not Like Us anyway. Say, Drake, the revolution will be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Meaning you picked the wrong president, but at the same time, it's meaning you picked somebody that should perform in the Super Bowl that you thought you could control.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Nah.
That's why.
Nah. This is definitely my favorite Super Bowl performance.
Yeah.
Ever.
Kendrick told us what his performance.
It was well thought of. Like, you can't, like, man, I can't express enough how important this is, man.
Performance was going to be way before he even performed. I just watched his halftime performance back for like the 10th time, and it just clicked that he already told us what he was doing before he did it. First of all, the symbolism with everything, like this man is actually a genius, and the storytelling with this halftime show was unmatched. In his interview with Apple Music before the halftime show, he told us what he was trying to do with the halftime show.
When people talk about rap, man, the conversations I hear, they think it's just rap and it's not an actual art form. So when you put records like that at the forefront, it reminds people that this 50 years ago, they forget that it's even been here 50 years, right? And like kind of like belittle it. So I love to see.
You can't belittle something that people put their intellect into. It takes time to sit down and write rhymes. Not only that, you're digging through it from experiences. You know what I'm saying? And you're rhyming you're rhyming, and you have to make it make sense. On top of that, you're doing entendres and stuff like that. You're doing parables like, yo, remember I said that in the beginning? Well, let's bring that back here, and then that you correlate that with each other and match it together, and the listener's like, oh wow, how did he do that? This is real art. This is art. This ain't, these ain't them art galleries where you got this big ass, this big blank picture, this big frame with a dot on it. Not a dot, because I don't want to make this seem like there's a pun being intended. But you got a square, just some dumb shit, and you're selling it for $1 million. That's not art. I'm sick of all these art galleries, these so-called art galleries, with these big old frames, and you draw a little cup in it. Oh wow! Oh, this is so big. Meanwhile, y'all laundering money and shit. Ain't nobody stupid. We know what y'all doing. We know what y'all doing. We know exactly what y'all doing. Selling these $1 billion art pieces, and they like, where's the art? Where's the art? One piece of damn corn in a cob. Wow, look at this art. Oh, how much is that art? This is $1.2 million. What the fuck? Why? Why? Come to find out, they doing something behind closed doors that a lot of us don't even know about. Let's get it, Dot.
That it gets that type of recognition for just straight raps, from awards to the billboards, all that, because this is truly just as big as an art form and a genre as any other genre. So
Kendrick was really trying to show that rap is an art. This was not supposed to be a time where he's showing a greatest hits and everybody just get up and dance. He's trying to tell a story similar to what artists do when they're painting. Not everything is supposed to be super consumable or entertaining, but it's supposed to relay a message, especially with the usage of Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. If you guys notice, every time Kendrick started rapping or they started doing rap songs, he was not having it. Uncle Sam kept telling them, you need to switch it up, do something different, because it's not consumable for him. The one time that Uncle Sam was happy with Kendrick's performance was when they slowed it down, when SZA came out and they started to do slower songs and singing. At that point, Uncle Sam was like,
when they showed a little bit of skin. They showed a little bit of skin. Then he said, yeah, now you're starting to get it. You're showing the sister's belly. Now you're starting to get it. It's slow. It's commercial. Everybody can vibe to it. Yeah, it's calmed down. Yeah, now this is how you play the game. Dot said, nah, we're going to clothe that. We're going to put clothes on everybody. And they wasn't even showing no skin, but I'm just going into how, you know, they just showed it a little bit just to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
finally get it. We don't want all that ghetto hood stuff. Give us, like, just sing and look happy. And I feel like this was also confirmed in society with the way people were reacting to this performance. I saw so many people saying, can he stop rapping? Can he stop? Like, this is too much. And it's kind of proving his point of people not thinking rap is a serious genre to be viewed as art and not being taken as serious as other genres.
All right, let's talk about what Kendrick brought to the Super Bowl stage. Whether it was through his words, his energy, or his visuals, he made sure his message was clear. Kendrick has always been about uplifting Black people, celebrating resilience, and addressing injustice. One of the key things he highlighted, directly or indirectly, is the idea of 40 acres and a mule. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that, don't worry, we'll get into it. But before that, let's talk about why Kendrick's message...
Hey, he almost shook his damn arm off. Look at that, look at that shake. Look at that shake. That's a real shake right there. Look. Hold on. That's a real handshake. Look at that shake. He almost shook his damn arm off. Watch this, y'all. Watch this.
The mule. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that, don't worry, we'll get into it. But before that, let's talk about why Kendrick's message at the Super Bowl was more than just a performance. This wasn't just entertainment. It was a reminder.
That's a real shake, y'all.
Almost a challenge to America.
He almost shook his damn arm off. Good. That's the love right there. They feel like they run state. Look, we running this. This is ours. Running this. Look at it. He shook his arm off, y'all.
A challenge to acknowledge the past, understand the struggles of Black communities, and push for real change. So, what is 40 acres and a mule? It is one of the most well-known and fulfilled promises in American history. Well, after the Civil War, formerly enslaved Black people were supposed to receive 40 acres of land and, in some cases, a mule to help them build a future. This was meant to be a form of reparations for centuries of forced labor. But guess what? That promise was never kept. Instead, the land was taken back and Black people were left with nothing. That's why this phrase still holds so much weight today. It represents a long history of broken promises, systemic racism, and economic oppression that Black communities have had to fight against for generations.
40 Acres and a Mule was part of Special Field Orders number 15, proclaimed by Union General William T. Sherman in 1865 during the American Civil War and approved by President Lincoln. 400,000 acres of former Confederate-owned land was to be redistributed to freed Black slaves in plots of no more than 40 acres. The Army was ordered to provide mules to tend to the fields. 20 Black leaders, both emancipated and born free, met with Sherman and Secretary of War Edwin Stanton and proposed that a strip of land from Charleston, South Carolina to the St. Johns River, Florida, and part of...
Now, let me say this. We're going to go through a little lesson right quick. Do y'all remember somebody had purchased a lot of land in America? Y'all know his name? It start with a B and his last name start with a G. He purchased a lot of land. Now, don't be surprised Don't be surprised, because Trump was at the Super Bowl. Don't be surprised if they start trying to give us incentive. They start to try to give us incentives and start trying to give us land, right? But if the land is defiled, and remember the guy who purchased, who out there purchasing all that land, and he's putting things in the dirt, don't grow nothing on that land. If they start giving out land, if they start giving out land, and they start hearing us speaking out, we need land, we need land. Remember, a little while ago, that dude was purchasing a lot of land and buying it off of people. If he done messed with that dirt and messed up that land, if they start giving out land, be careful. Be careful. Be very careful. Because you got to start putting all it. They don't give it. Look, they don't give up nothing for free. They don't give up nothing without you giving something. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to throw that in there.
Part of Georgia be redistributed to freed slaves. Also, these communities were to only be inhabited and governed by blacks. 40,000 freed slaves wasted no time inhabiting 400,000 acres of land known as Sherman Land. When Andrew Johnson took office in 1865, he overturned this order and returned all the land back to its original Confederate owners, the very people who had declared war on the United States of America. Imagine how different the history of race relations in this country would have been had this order been implemented and enforced. Had the former slaves had an opportunity to own land and build wealth that they could pass on to future generations.
One thing about Kendrick, he doesn't hold back. His lyrics dig deep into issues like police brutality, racial identity, poverty, and self-worth. He tells the stories of black struggle and black excellence through his music. Take to Pimp a...
Man, this tea be so good, y'all. Y'all have no clue. I make the best tea in the world. I make the best tea in the world. Put that honey, that lime in there, and there's some of my secret ingredients. Can't go wrong, man. It's good, man. I'm telling you.
A Butterfly, for example. That album was a whole masterpiece that explored what it means to be a black person in America. The themes of oppression, survival, and self-love are all there. Kendrick's music isn't just entertainment, it's education. It's a history lesson wrapped in beats and poetry. And that's why he's more than just a rapper. He's a voice, a movement, and a leader in his own way. Let's watch how people interpreted the symbolism in his performance, and then we'll come back and continue.
People saying how Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance was so symbolic and then not explaining the symbolism is why the symbolism in his Super Bowl performance is so impactful. So let's break this down. First, Uncle Sam is Samuel Jackson in this show. Throughout the course of the show, he either praises Kendrick for how he behaves or he scolds Kendrick on how he is not behaving properly. And at one point, he actually says, gamekeeper, deduct one life. And that is a symbol of how black people are specifically treated in this country, where if you don't behave properly by code switching or being palatable, then you're going to be chastised in the United States as a black person. But then we get introduced to the dancers. The dancers are all in sweatsuits, and the sweatsuits at one point becomes a configuration of the American flag. And during that part, he is actually in the middle of those dancers as he's performing. Even though the colors come together.
Hey, check it out. Super Mario Brothers is a game of life as well. It started off with everything green, all the grass, you know what I'm saying? And the last board is what? There you go. You got heaven and hell. And all boards in between is just you going through life. I'm telling you, Super Mario is a game of life as well.
To form the American flag, it's actually the sweatsuits which stuck out to me the most. And someone else pointed this out, I'll tag her. And she said that the sweatsuits were very similar to those in Squid Games. And if you remember in Squid Games, the game players are wearing sweatsuits depending on their status in the game. But everyone essentially was playing towards the big pot of money at the end, and they were willing to fight each other to win said money. And as more people started to die throughout Squid Games, there was more money available for the winners at the end of the game. Now, Squid Games is actually a symbolism of capitalism and how when people at the bottom specifically continue to fight each other in the hopes of winning the money or the pot of gold at the end of said game, that no one actually wins. So in my opinion, him dancing in between.
See, I've never been a big fan of Squid Game. I only seen one episode where they was, it was like doing the red light, green light thing, and it was just getting off. So yeah, I didn't know at the end there's a pot that nobody could win. That's the same joint.
The American flag is, yes, a symbolism of how the country is divided, but because all the colors are kind of mixed in together, it just shows that people of different socioeconomic statuses are still divided regardless of their political party. But then we get to the stage configuration, and that turns out to be a game controller. And who is the controller? The United States. But during one of the songs, the camera is in the middle and he is dancing at each different part of the X. And to me, that was a symbol that each specific group or demographic, so you could think of maybe races or ethnicity, are in their communities but only focus on each other, and every now and again we'll look to see what the other is doing, but no one's actually working together. And then at the end of the performance, he performs Not Like Us, which he has been advised by other major A-list celebrities to not perform this song. Why? Because the Super Bowl is not supposed to be a political type of stunt for the United States. It's strictly for the purpose of entertainment, right? Because in the United States, when you're under capitalism, the way to keep people distracted essentially is by entertaining them through forms of TV, through music, through movies, all these things. So at the end, when he's like, oh, am I going to do it? I'm going to do it. And then he ends up performing the song. Everyone's like, oh, he's dissing Drake again. Girl, this is more than just Drake. Okay, wake up. And then you see Serena Williams coming out doing a crip walk.
Oh, he's dissing Drake again. No, sit your ass down. Sit down. This ain't all about Drake. This ain't all about Drake. Oh, he's dissing Drake again.
And if you remember, Serena was fined and scolded publicly for doing this at one of her tennis matches, even after she won. And her having a moment on this stage, and also Kendrick saying the revolution will be televised and you picked the right time but the wrong guy, is really a symbol of people, specifically people of influence, which he refers to in his speech at one point. People of influence speaking and talking and acting in accordance to their values, regardless of what the entertainment industry or the bigger higher ups sort of want them to do. And then we get to the very end when he says, turn this TV off multiple times. Why? Because again, the Super Bowl is one of the most televised events and the most watched events throughout the entire year, which is a distraction for most.
Man, Dot been to school for something, man. I think he been to school for some psychology or something, man. He studied. He definitely studied.
Most Americans who are at the bottom of the totem pole that are really just trying to distract themselves from what they have to do in their everyday lives, which is go to work and work for pennies and, fight each other for just a simple raise. So all together now, game over at the very end of the Super Bowl performance is a symbol of people actually coming together to not only start, but withhold and run a revolution. So as a summary here, the reason why everyone needs to know this is because the revolution cannot happen if everyone does not know about it and participate and stick to their guns throughout the course of said revolution.
Now, let's talk about his influence. Kendrick isn't just shaping music, he's shaping culture. He's proof that hip-hop isn't just about club bangers and radio hits. It's about storytelling, truth, and revolution. When he won the Pulitzer Prize for Them, that was a big deal. No rapper had ever won that before. It showed the world that hip-hop is art, that rap can just be as powerful as any classic literature or historical speech. And it's not just about...
I love their accent, man. Political culture and Pulitzer Prize. Beautiful.
Awards. Kendrick inspires other artists to be real, to speak out, and to use their platform for something bigger than themselves. His influence stretches beyond music. It's in activism, education, and even politics. After Kendrick's Super Bowl performance, social media just blew up because people are talking about how he always delivers, how his message is necessary, and how he represents something bigger than music. And of course, not everyone got it. Some folks probably just saw it as another performance. But for those who really listen to
another performance,
Kendrick, they know that every move he makes is intentional. He's always speaking to something deeper. So, to summarize, Kendrick Lamar isn't just a rapper.
Lamar. Yeah, I like that. She cooked. The Joy Report. Shout out to Joy, the Joy Report. I'm going to leave a link in the description, but There's some stuff that's gonna keep coming out, y'all. I'm telling you, we got a nice 2025. This is Cat Williams said it. He said it in another interview, not the Shannon Sharp interview. It was another interview that somebody asked him, what do we have to look forward to in 2025? He said, everybody's going to be waking up. Boy, if he wasn't lying. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Big Kish signing out. I'm gone, y'all.